Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special edition of the Dubcast, part of the Roundball Australia podcast network. My name is Poletti. Joining me, as always, today is Burke. And the reason this is a very special edition of the Dubcast is we have a very special interview with Central Coast Mariners player Annabel Martin, who recently was part of the winning squad in the A-League Women Grand Final. We chat about that game with her, as well as how last season's defeat in the semi-finals to Sydney FC helped shape the side this year, getting to play the likes of Isabel Gomez, her brief career in the media, getting to play under Emily Husband, and so much more. We had an absolute blast recording it, and we hope that you have just as much fun listening to it. And joining us now on the Dubcast for a very special interview, she is now a champion of the A-League Women competition, Annabel Martin. Has it sunk in yet?
No, it hasn't. Even you saying those words then feels quite weird, but yeah, incredibly proud.
Talk us through the game, the day itself. Like, was anything different to the way that the team had approached it all season? Was there anything special that you guys had done in the lead up to the game than the game itself, then getting through it? Like, just talk us through the entire day, please.
No, we really did stick to our process. It's a bit of a cliche answer, but it's worked for us all year. Grand final is always going to be a little bit more nerves or a little bit obviously more on the line, but we really kind of stuck together. I feel like we're quite a high energy type of team that has a bit of fun, and off-field, on-field as well. We really enjoy what we do. So we did try and stick to our normal game day routine. I think the girls are really ready. I think coming off, a rescheduled game, extra time, semi-final, I think, we were pretty prepared for whatever was thrown our way. And having played victory 3 times this year due to Unite round, I think, we knew what they were going to come out with, and we knew what we thought we could do to beat them.
You just talked about your journey through the final series, the rescheduling, the extra time. It seems like anything that could have gone against the Mariners did go against the Mariners, and maybe other sides are, not necessarily dealing with things in a certain way. Like it might have knocked a lesser side out of the competition, but you got through that. How did you manage to do that?
I think this year's really tested us in a whole variety of ways, and we're just quite a resilient group. So whatever has been thrown our way, we already had a rescheduled match when we were up in Brisbane, and that was a little bit harder to deal with, obviously, being already at the ground and waiting around for so long, and then having to stay at the hotel. It felt a bit like deja vu, Groundhog Day, reliving it the next day, and obviously didn't get the win that day. So I think we learnt what to do. We learned how to switch our brains off, and as soon as we got the told that it was going to be rescheduled, I think everyone just got on with things. And I think, it's a credit to Em and how she, I think controls this team and everyone's mindsets in it, where, if something's thrown our way, we just accept it, get on with things, control what we can control.
It's been in the ascendancy with the Mariners from day one. They're getting told they're coming back into the competition. Em Husband's being named the coach. You've been there, since that first game in the relaunch of the team. What has that journey been like over these last 2 years?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think having obviously known Em prior to coming to the Mariners, knew what she was about, knew what she could deliver. And I remember talking at the end of last year, just sitting around in a pre-season away trip with all the girls and just looking around the room and being like, hey, we have a really good team here. I played with Taryn King, Bianca Galich at Sydney Uni with Ash Irwin as well. So I knew what they had it takes to take it in the league. Play with Izzy Gomez at Wellington. So, I was fairly confident last year looking around that room saying, we probably have a really good chance here. And it was a weird feeling last year, I guess, losing the semi-final to the eventual champions and 1-0. It was a tough thing. I mean, for me personally, it hurt a lot because, like I said, I thought we had what it takes. And it's hard because everyone was going around being like, how successful the season was last year. But we set our eyes on that championship and we didn't come through. Despite, I can see why it's labelled a success because first year in the competition, but I think we just carried on that mindset. A lot of the girls who were here last year carried that on to this year. And then obviously we've just added different elements to this team who have brought something individually, and Jess Nash, Taylor Ray, English strikers up top. So we really complement each other, I think, and come together.
When it went to penalties, did you have the feeling that you guys were gonna get over the line?
Yeah, I did. We've been practicing pens since that last home and away game. Obviously, our elimination final last year came down to pens against Victory. And I mean, throughout the whole season, we were obviously trying to win games in the season, but we knew we wanted to be that fitter team that could run out games. So we were doing a lot of extra running just in preparation of needing to play 120 minutes and, that likelihood of things coming down to that. So at the time, we didn't love it, all those extra runs after training and stuff, but Em and the coaching staff were really aware of that we needed to be fit and firing coming this end of the season as well, and mentally really switched on. I think everyone was super fresh out there, which was great. But back to the pens. I mean, I think Sarah Langman's been the best goalkeeper in the league this season. So as soon as I went to pens, I was really confident in her. But then all the girls as well. Em come to me being like, are these girls like good to go? And I remember going up to Fuller and Trimmis being like, you guys good? Like, obviously quite young, big moment. And they were just super confident. Haven't seen them miss one in training, pick their spot and hit it. And that's exactly what they did. So I think, credit to all the girls that stood up and took one, and everyone that was prepared to do so as well. I think we had, a lot of girls put their hand up that were keen and confident. So, we were very prepared, and, back Langers in every day of the week.
I've got a bit of a two-part question now. So the first part of that question is you're with the current longest active streak of not having scored a goal in the A-League Women, and I guess with everyone seemingly bringing it up at every opportunity when they commentate a Mariners game, are you getting sick of hearing it? Do you just ignore it? Like, what's that like?
I actually haven't heard it too much. My brother does let me know about it every game, which is great. I thought I won a pen this year against Wanderers, but it got waved away, and I was ready to take that one and claim it. But I was next to take a pen too, so I was going to say, does that count towards that? I'm not sure if it has, but I mean, it is what it is. It's hard when I don't know. It really doesn't bother me at all. I'll take winning games any day of the week.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. The second part of that question was, we were talking about one of the last times there was a penalty shootout at Amy Park on our Tuesday edition of the show, and the last one that we could think of was the USA knocking out Sweden in the Women's World Cup. And for me, and I was saying this to Burke on Tuesday night, and she didn't know what I was talking about, and she just still doesn't know what I'm talking about now. That day stands out to me for a completely different reason, and it's because it was one of the last times I can recall you actually scoring a goal. It was the 93rd minute for Sydney Uni against Bankstown City in the NPL Women's, a goal that basically relegated them from the competition. It was you who scored it at 93rd minute Olympico.
As the corner comes in, curls, Olympico, goal!
Yeah, I do remember that day. Crazy. I remember just turning to Em being like, should I just put it on her head? And she was like, yeah, just do it. And then last kick of the game, and it sailed in. Sorry, Bankstown. Love you guys. But yeah, I mean, it's hard with that sort of stuff with a corner. You have your set pieces and what you try and do with it, but sometimes the wind helps you out or it just sails in. So you get pretty lucky with that one. But yeah, that was quite funny.
Yeah, we were talking about it after the game, and I asked you if it was deliberate, and you said no. I was looking for Taryn King, and you know, when you've got someone that tall in the box, I can't blame you for wanting to look for Taryn King, who hasn't had the greatest of last 12 months, has spent most of it on the sidelines injured, has basically had to come back and build her fitness through finals. What has it been like with that journey, you know, on the outside with her over the last 12 months?
Yeah, obviously the rehab of the ACL is a tricky one. Having done one myself, it's not linear. Everyone is very different. It's very individualized. some take longer than others, some have things pop up here and there, and Taryn's really been, I guess, tested in that area, but I mean, I can't speak more highly of her. She's our captain, and her impact on this team goes well beyond what she does out in the field. So props to her. She showed up every day at training. She's gotten around all the girls. She's always come in with a smile on her face and helped anyone out who needs it and put everyone else above herself. But as a friend of hers and on an individual level, I mean, it was just great to see her back out there playing next to her. I love playing next to her, obviously. Have for a long time at Sydney Uni, and she makes everyone around her walk a little bit taller. But yeah, she had to come in really quick under fire. I think she came on against Victory, was her first game back, and 1-0 down, and it was pretty chaotic back there. So yeah, credit to her to come in these high stake kind of moments and really just rise to that challenge. And yeah, like I said, she's been incredible for us. There's a reason she's our captain, and yeah, it was really exciting to see her out in the pitch on last Sunday.
Do you know where you're going next season? You sticking around Central for another season?
Yeah, hopefully. That's the plan. I love it up here. I'm from a small country town, and it has that same community feel up the coast. I think just we see that in the fans, and everyone just willing to help out where they can, and you see that passion and that, yeah, I guess spirit that we play with, and that comes from the fans and the community as a whole. So I love living up here. I've really embraced the lifestyle. Nice being by the beach. Like I said, love the girls. And obviously, I think I said it the morning after the grand final, just so we're going back to back or what. So I got a good laugh. But I guess it's like that. You get addicted to that winning feeling, and yeah, I'm already keen to go around next year. So hopefully that's the plan.
Are you guys planning on doing one better than just the championship next season?
Yeah, I mean, premiership it's a hard thing to come by. I think we saw that this year with Victory having such a great season and still falling short of Melbourne City. So to have that, it's such a longer season now. So I think that is kind of put up a little bit more. But yeah, to finish top of the table, that's the goal. Premiership, championship, whatever you can get, that's all you're striving for. But at the same time, yeah, you make finals, and I think we've seen it this year. You can really make a dent in it no matter where you finish. I think that's the beauty of our team. Like, yeah, home or away, like we really don't mind at all. We like travelling, like being all together at the same time, love playing in front of our home fans. So nothing like finals football. Em will tell you premiership is up there, but she's English, so I feel like it doesn't have the same meaning to me. I followed AFL my whole life, so finishing top just means you're in finals, so I might have a different point of view.
Talk to us about Em as a coach. You mentioned off there you were with her at Sydney Uni. She got the Mariners job. You went to Gosford with her, and you've thrived there after having bounced around the league over the last few years. What is it about her that not only makes her such a quality coach, but that allows her to get the best out of every player that walks through the door?
Yeah, I think just first and foremost, like, she's such a smart coach, and I think the buy-in from the players is immediately there. Like, whatever she thinks going into a game, and she really puts in a lot of hard work and a lot of hours into looking into the opposition and what's the best way to beat them and their weaknesses and what our strengths can be against that, whether that be formation or personnel or whatever it is. And I think we really just trust whatever she tells us to do, and I think we saw that in the elimination final, rolling out with a 3-back, which we haven't played all season. Obviously we played a lot last year, but a lot of those girls had never played there before, but she thought that was the best way to attack Canberra, and we just, like I said, listened and just tried to apply it as best we can. So I think she's just such a good tactician in that regard, of knowing what to do and when, and really backing herself in and being like, this is what I believe. And I think that then that confidence comes to us as well, as like, oh yeah, this is the best way to do it. And it makes it easy for us. We just have to be like, okay, this is what we're doing now. But I think as well, like, just that equilibrium she has. Rarely is she, unless the effort's not there at half time, she's quite calm. This is what we need to do. It's only a couple of things that we need to fix up. I'd say, yeah, she doesn't get too high or too low in that regard. It's quite stable, and then that allows us to play our best. She gives us a lot of confidence to go out there and really backs us into whoever we play. And I say that for myself personally. I think, probably play with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, like I said, bounced around the league. Want to prove others wrong, but at the same time want to prove Em right, that, it was the right decision to give me that deal last year and come up the coast with her. So it was a big call at the time and something that, I'm really grateful for and hopefully can repay her with as well.
A bit of a change of track. It was a couple of years ago, you and I were actually part of the same Football Australia initiative with the Legacy 23 program at the Women's World Cup. I know I had a really good time during that experience. Just wanted to hear your thoughts and how that experience was for you.
Yeah, loved it. It was such a cool opportunity, I guess, with the World Cup as well. It was, probably some of the most highlights of my life in that regard, getting to go to whatever game. And I think I went to anyone that was in Sydney, no matter who was playing, and get the opportunity to see behind the scenes in the media world, which was really, really cool. And write about, one of the biggest tournaments in probably Australian history in that regard. I think we've seen it with the Matildas, how much of an impact it's had. Really grateful for that experience. It's really cool. Met a lot of cool people, which is now fun seeing in the A-League as well. I run into whoever was in it, in no matter which state I'm playing in or stuff like that. Had Anne O'Dong after the game, got to give her a big hug, and she's done so much for me, and have that little chat there. And it was a really cool moment for, like I said, myself to see her, who has contributed to my journey in some way or another. So very grateful for that opportunity. It was really, really cool.
If memory serves me correctly, you almost had a job lined up in the media before the Mariners came calling. I guess, how close were you to taking that job, and could this journey have just been completely different?
It was, like I said, I love sports media. I've always consumed it all my life. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and then kind of went into that. Love writing, so I've really enjoyed it. And then it was kind of like a week apart, and then Em came to me. But being a player has always been my first love. Playing football, playing in the A-League, I love playing in Australia. So as soon as that opportunity came up, I knew that was my priority, and everything else was going to have to work around that. Probably a bit naive to it, to think that I can do some other stuff later in my life, but you only get to be an athlete for so long, age-wise. So I guess, put a lot of eggs in that basket, and like I said, moved up the coast as well by myself. So live a fair bit away from family and stuff, but no regrets in that department. This is the life I chose, and loving every minute of it.
Do you approach playing the game differently now that you've seen the other side beyond the 90 minutes, beyond just doing the press conferences? You've actually been there, you've seen the behind the scenes, you've written stories, you've asked questions. Do you treat how you play a little bit differently, or is it just compartmentalize it, put it off to one side, and I'll tap into that later?
No, I probably change. I've probably just learnt maybe. I love human interest pieces. I love learning about people and their journeys, and maybe just I ask a lot of questions of my teammates to see where they've come from and their journey in the game and how they got to where they are and stuff like that. So maybe just that sort of interest of learning, why people are the way they are, and talking to them in that regard. I'm really interested in by that. And like, I look around my team now, and everyone's got such a different story, such a different journey of how they've gotten to where we are, and we're all in the same spot. So I guess that part's really cool to see. I started from a young age. Some girls have just debuted and they're 23, which I think is really cool. I think that's where the A-League's kind of going. It doesn't matter if you get past that 18 and you haven't quite been picked up yet, whereas back in the day you really had to start young, which I think is really cool. So you can have a really good NPL season and get picked up from the A-League, because coaches are looking at it, like I said. But in game day, no, I go out there, do my job, play my role for the team, whatever that may be. Don't really think too much past that.
Are you heading back to the NPL this year, or are you planning on taking some time off?
I will take a little bit of time off. I just had a little niece born, so I'm dying to get back home to meet her and see my family. I couldn't quite get home for Christmas or anything this year, so it's been a while since I've seen them. They got to come to the game on the weekend, which was really cool to celebrate with them. my dad has sacrificed and supported my career a lot over the journey. So to be able to have him out in the field when, you get your medal and be able to celebrate with him was something super special and something I'd never forget. But yeah, take a bit of time off, and then I think I will look to play a little bit of NPL towards that back end. I think it's an awkward amount of time off, obviously not being 12 months, where I do feel I want to be coming back into pre-season next year fit and firing. It's quite a short pre-season, so from there we pretty much play games from week one. So you really got to come in fit, but I think it's also important to have that rest mentally, physically. A few knocks this season, so I'll rest up and chuck some ice on it.
What was it like having such a huge Central Coast support down here in Melbourne for that game? There was a ton of them, all behind the goal. Some were in the stands on the opposite side from where the media was. Yeah, what was that like?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I can't speak more highly of our fans the whole year playing at Industry Stadium. It really, I know it's so cliche, but it really is like playing with the 12th man out there. They're just, like I said, so passionate. They don't care if we win, lose or draw. They just care about that effort we put in out in that field and that we play with pride of the Central Coast. It was really cool to see how many came to Melbourne. Yeah, it surprised me as well. I mean, like I said, got to have my family there. A lot of the girls got to have their families there, and I think that's really important because they've played such a big role in our careers and done so much for us, so that we can dream to play in a game like that. So it was all really, really cool. But they're crazy fans. It's awesome to see, and like you can hear them. You can hear that yellow army from a mile away, and got to have a big photo with them at the end and celebrate with them, which so important. I think it's really what the club's built on is that personal feel.
Yeah, it does show because there are some clubs around the league that try to promote the one club mentality, but the Mariners are actively taking steps every single week to do it. What's it like playing for a club where both teams are treated equally?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super important. I think it's where we need to be, and I think we're still getting there as a league as a whole, as a club as well. I think we're learning. Like I said, we've only come in last year, so we're still learning to have two teams as well. But to have those fans that go to men, women's games, come and support no matter what. I think you just need it. I think it's a really important thing to be treated like that, to be treated as a professional, no matter if you're a man or a woman. And hopefully the league continues to grow and we can get to those 12-month contracts and full time. I think it really needs to be there. Like having people run off to go to work 6 hours a day, it's tough. And coaches as well, obviously we've got M full time, but that's about it. So it's hard for them. But I think that's a credit again to our team and our coaching staff who just put in so much effort no matter what they got going on out of training. If you need anything, they're willing to help, which again, I think what this club is built on is just that team first mentality.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the 12-month contracts again, and when you said that, what immediately came to mind for me, going back to the NPL for a second, was there was a game earlier this year, Sydney Uni, funnily enough, and NWS Spirit, where Katie Offer got subbed off at half-time because she had to go do a paramedic shift. And I understand that's the next level down, but Sophie Harding getting called into the Matilda squad, getting the call literally in the middle of a 10-hour shift. These things wouldn't happen in the men's game. They wouldn't happen in other parts of the world. I don't know. It makes me sad.
Yeah, it's something. It's tough because again, like I said, I've played for a long time, so it has grown. Don't get me wrong, there has been improvement there, but it is hard because I've dedicated a lot of my life to playing football and being a professional player, and continue to do so. It just happens that I have to do stuff outside of that. But I think if we want the game to grow and we want that level to keep increasing, then we want to train more. We want to be we want to dedicate again more of our lives and we do a lot now. It's just you got to do a fair bit more on top of that. So it's kind of in this weird limbo moment as we speak of the efforts there from the girls and stuff like that, just probably the parameters around that allow that to jump to that next level and to keep growing as a league like we've seen in the NWSL. I think it just needs to happen. Obviously, we're working towards that, and hopefully eventually we can get there. But at the moment, it is hard to see that. Yeah, it is draining sometimes when, especially you're on a away trip or something like that, and then you got a full shift the next day. So, again, props to everyone involved, but yeah, we would like that change.
That's crazy to imagine players getting subbed off at halftime to go work as a paramedic or to go to a shift, like following a day of travel. I don't even want to go to a shift when I don't have anything on the next day. Like, unreal stuff. How much work is like the PFA putting in towards that kind of stuff? Do you know?
Yeah, PFA's great. They do a lot of work with us in what we would like to come next. And it's very collaborative approach in what they're saying and what we want as well, which I think is super important. What we need as players, and we understand the restrictions put in place, and it's not just going to be a click of the fingers and stuff like that. We're not that naive to the world. But no, the PFA is doing really great things, and on behalf of the players, which I think is super important. That it's that direct approach, and then, like I said, collaborative between us and them, and then the clubs and the A-League itself. So we all need to be on that same page moving forward.
And then the last question I've got to end it on a slightly happier note. Talk to us about playing with Izzy Gomez. You know, she gets player of the match in the grand final. She's been absolutely amazing. Like every time I watch her play, whether it be for the Northern Tigers, whether it be for the Mariners, she's just doing so many good things on the ball, off the ball. What's it like getting to play with, a special talent like that?
Yeah, she's just such a great person as well, first and foremost. Loves the girls, loves to have a laugh, loves to get in and train really, really hard. And I think that's a props to her. And then obviously we've seen that the player that I've seen for a long time, like I said, what year did I play? 2021 was with Wellington, and she was there. And I remember seeing her and being like, who is this girl? Like, is she Australian? And I probably saw glimpses of it there. Obviously, she was super young and first year-ish in the league, at least playing time-wise. I think she was at Wanderers before that. But I saw those glimpses, and I think now we're just seeing it on a consistent basis, week in, week out. Like, if we need something, we know. And Izzy has that full license from M and that confidence from M to be like, get on that ball, drive forward, create something. And usually when she gets on that ball, good things happen. But I think we see it in the holistic of her game as well. Like, she's the first one to work, back and help defend. She's always getting around the girls. I really can't speak more highly of her. And I think M's just helped her develop this year. And, putting her more higher up the ground, I think, has just developed her game even further, where she is a genuine threat every time she gets on that ball. At the same time, I think having played like a deeper midfield position in previous years, she is that first one to work back and get her foot into a tackle and enjoy that physicality of the game. But I think she just has such a complete game. And obviously she had an injury this year that was tough, and it kind of kept getting pushed back, and it wasn't quite right. And, props to the medical staff and M for allowing her to have that time to when she felt that her knee was good. And then for her to come in and, we saw that work she was doing when she was injured. She's running laps. She's constantly keeping fit, and she's come back in and hasn't missed a beat. If anything, had probably the best month we've probably seen in the A-League in that regard. And again, just as a friend, it's awesome to see her called in Matildas. I can't wait to see her hopefully debut, and no doubt she'll play well and rise to that occasion, because the bigger the game, the bigger the Izzy Gomez moments, she really rises to the occasions.
Have you hit her up for a ticket yet?
Yeah, might have to. Hey, I think she's got enough family probably to give out to every time I'm signing autographs after the game, it's a little Izzy Gomez Guernsey on or something like that. And so she has a bit of a fan club there, and fair enough. But yeah, no, like I said, I'm super excited for her having to, get called up and then obviously get injured. It's been a long journey back, and just super proud, and just like no one more deserving than her. So might have to send her a message after this.
You just touched on the injuries there. Gomez was one of many. You guys all just got to work. The injuries didn't stop you. You just, played your part, whatever M wanted you all to do. And it's paid off in a championship on the final day of the season. Annabel, look, I'm sure we could keep you for another half hour and keep asking questions, because there's just so many things to ask. But thank you so much for giving us some of your time this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It's been good to have a chat.
And we thank Annabel Martin once again for joining us on this special edition of the Dubcast, part of the Round Ball Australia podcast network. If you enjoyed that interview, I'd highly recommend liking and subscribing. It helps us grow the channel. It helps us share this with more people, and you can help us grow the channel to help us reach more people, to help us spread the amazing stories of Australian women's football. But we'll be back next week on Wednesday with our A-League Women season review and a look ahead to the games against Argentina as the Matildas get set for their 2-game series in Melbourne and Canberra.